Alright, so you're welcome to this section. We want to look at how to be able to extract information from files in Linux. Let me share, I'm already sharing my screen, and so let me just pull up. Okay, so I'm just starting from somewhere. So we are going to look at this part, like how to be able to extract information from Linux. And information extraction simply means that we have, let's say, a data set or some kind of information, and we don't need the entirety of it. So we just need a portion of it. So there's a way to be able to extract that part of it and then use it for whatever reason or for whatever purpose that we want. So let me quickly demonstrate that as quickly as possible. I mean, in the first one we have here is WC, which is like word count. So let me go to a Linux terminal, and then I will demonstrate all this. So I'll be iterating. I'll be moving from Linux terminal to what is it, to this for us, so that we'll be able to follow it through. So I am on my Linux terminal now, so I'm going to clear. So let's say if I list, I have all these files which are here. So if I list with L, then I can see all of them, and then they are long listing. Okay, so they are all there like that. So I also have a file there, which is, let's say, file 1. So I have a file there which is file 1. I just created that particular file. So if I list, you're definitely going to find that file hanging somewhere around here, file 1, as you can see it around here. So I'll be working with that particular file momentarily. So the first one is WC. WC means word count. Now, one of the ways to be able to know how to use any command in Linux is to always use the help or the man. So I have man here. I don't know if man will work with this. No, man is not working. I have to use help. So I'm going to say WC, and then I have dash help. That will give you the various ways of using the WC. So you can see the usage is here. So you have the WC, you have options, and you have the file. So you start with the WC, followed by the options, and the options are what we have here, around here, and then what their description and what they do are also on the other side. So we get back to the terminal. Okay, we get back to, let me just clear the screen and then come here. So let's say if I want the word count of the file, I have file 1 there, so it's going to count all of them. So the first one here means there are 3 lines, and how many words are there? There are about 30, and then this is the size that it is occupying. That's about 192 bytes, and then the name of the file. So you can see that I'm just talking from this particular point of view. Now, what about if we wanted to count the words? If we wanted only the number of words there, so I will say WC. The WC is the word count, that's C, and then you add the file, and so I'm just going to have the file there, and then enter. So it's going to count the number of the byte or the number of characters which are there. So the C means the characters. So we have 192 characters. If I do WC dash M, I'm actually looking at the file size. So it tells me that the file size is also 192. So what about if I do WC and I have dash L? I'm looking at the number of lines. That's going to give me and then you add the file, and then okay, they are saying that it is wrong. I think that I needed to finish it up. Yeah, so they are just 3 lines. So that's how we are able to. And when we have done this, if we want the results out, we can actually pack it into an output file by using greater than sign. Right, so that's about it for WC. Now when we come back here, we see the next thing is sorting. The sorting is simply to arrange your file in order. Let's say if the file was somehow arrange in a particular order, you want it to arrange in ascending order or descending order, then you can easily do that. So for instance, if I want to, I can say sort, and then maybe help, then it's going to give me the various ways of doing the sorting. So you can see the usage always comes first. You can have sorting and then the options are here, so before the file. But you can also add a flag, that's B, which means ignore leading blanks, and then this one means either it is a directory. F means either you fold lower case to uppercase characters. Then you can just look at all the flags which are here, the options which are here, and then you can sort accordingly. So let me clear the screen and go back, and let's say we have sorts, and then you follow by the same thing like the file one. So because this one there is no particular order, it will simply give you the same way. But you see that it has sorted from alphabetical order. You see that A now comes first before what is it, M, and then before C, in that order, because from here up to this place they are the same, so it will maintain it. But when it gets to the next part, you see that it has sorted it out, it has arranged it in alphabetical order. Okay, now that's how sorting can be done. So we also have the sorting, we have das B, and then you add the file name. So I have my file here, and then I don't know what it has done, but it has actually done something. The only thing is go and look at the options, and then you use the flags accordingly to be able to do whatever that you want. The next is unique. Unique simply means like duplicates. You want to, maybe if you have some duplicate lines and you want to remove it, so it's actually going to remove it. So let's get back to the studio, and then for instance, if I say unique, and then I add the file name, or I add the particular file I want to find out, and so this is my file name, which is file 1. That's the file I'm working with. If I do like this, there's no duplicate, so it will remove anything. But I'm going to duplicate one of the texts. Like the first project is Microbiome, authored by Edwin Appiah. I'm going to duplicate that one and then save the file, view it, and then see how we can use unique to remove the duplicate. Alright, so to do that, I'm just going to open the file again, and to open the file you say nano and then file 1. So if I do that, it takes me to this place. So I'm going to copy this, alright, and then what is it I have here. So remember, in the text editor we don't use mouse, we just use, everything is and so I see what I have duplicated it. So again, let me duplicate it again. So that is it. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit it, and then they ask me to save, so I'm going to do this, and then file name to write, so it is just file 1, so I'm going to do enter. So it's the same thing. Now when I cut the file, say file 1, okay, so you see that now I have a lot of, so you can see that I have the microbiome about 3 different places. Okay, now like the sorting I was talking about, I'm going to sort that particular file. You see that it's going to, at the moment, you can see that it is not arranged, it's not sorted. If I should sort it, it's going to arrange in alphabetical order. You will see the microbiome will follow each other, and then it will start maybe with the A, and followed by the C, and then the microbiome will come. So let's say I'm going to say file 1, and then this way. So have you noticed that it has sorted it out? Now we now have A and follow in that order. Okay, that has been sorted. Now when we move from there, now let's see if we can find some unique values over there. So the first one, when I did the unique command, there was nothing. So I have unique, and I'm going to add a file like this, the file 1, and then see what is going to happen. Oh, I did not. They said I did not spell unique well. As you can see, UI is not found. So that's where the error is. So I'm just going to say it's supposed to be unique like this. And then I have my file 1. Okay. And then let me see. You notice that the microbiome is still there. Another microbiome is still there, but it has removed only one microbiome. Okay. It has removed only one microbiome, but the other ones, there is still another one which is there. I suppose there is some kind of difference. That is why it did not remove. But there were 3 microbiomes. So let me run that again and see what is going to happen. We still have the microbiome. What might be happening is that maybe there is a space somewhere, and that is why that particular line is different from the other line, and that's why it's keeping it. But the unique is meant to remove the duplicates. So we also have something like join. Join is to simply compare 2 files. Okay, so you compare 2 files and see if there are let's say there are similarities or there are no similarities. Okay, so let me see. But when you are looking for similarities between 2 files, you use join. If you're looking for differences, you use difference. So I just have, so I can just say join, and then I'm going to have file 1, and then I wish I could create a different file, and so that I'll compare the 2. Alright, so let's see. Let me look at something here. So what I'm going to do is the unique one that I have, I'm going to pack it, this particular unique, I'm going to so let me clear my screen so you can see properly. So I was using this command unique and find the file. So I'm going to pack this into a different file called file 2 as an output. So I'm just going to do like this, and then I'll call that file 2. So when I run like this, now I have file 1 and I have file 2 like this. For instance, if I want, I can print, if I say cut file 1, so that's going to print file 1. You can see it is still the way it was. Now if I say cut file 2, you see that it's different. File 1 has how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. File 2 has 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have the 2 files. Now I'm not going to join them. So I want to find out whether there are some similarities between them. So I'm going to join file 1 and then file 2. Alright, so it is going to tell us. So you see, can you see the output? The output is here. Now it's going to tell us how similar they are, and then where are they similar. So it is trying to outline where there are similarities. So you can see that what is it? A microbiome authored by, there are about 3 of them, or is it 5 or 3 of them? Yeah, it will compare it 3 times. The genome graph, it will also compare it the number of times that it has appeared. So that's what it has done, and then it's telling me how similar they are. So they are all similar. The file 1 and file 2 are similar at some places, and then let's look at the difference. Now if we want the difference, we just say diff, and then we're going to have our file 1, then our file 2, and then so it gives us the difference. So look at the difference here. The difference is that one has 5 lines, the other one has what? 4. So, and the first project is microbiome authored by, so that is where the difference is. Apart from that, the rest, what is it? They are the same. The difference only appeared in the microbiome, which appeared more than the required number. And then they are even showing us the other differences that exist. Yeah, so that is it as to how to be able to compare your files. Now let's move to, there are instances you just want to view your text file. You can use less, and you can use head, you can use tail, just like the way we use it. For instance, let me demonstrate that quickly. So let's say okay, so if I list my, so I have this particular file here. It's actually a genome. It's actually a genome. So I can actually say less, and then I will simply just specify. So it's mf strain 20 dot faster. So if I see that, you see that it has printed quite a number, so up to this particular portion. So that's what we use less for. I'm just going to, or I'm going to do this and then cancel it. So again, you can also use like head. The head means you are just looking for some few lines. That we are looking for the first 10 lines. So you say head, and then you add the name of the file. So that is like mf string something, and then 20. And so if I do that, I'm just looking for the first 10 lines. I could look for the first 20 lines or 40 lines. So that way, I'm just going to do like this. But in that case, I'm going to add a flag here. That's -n, and then I'll put, let's say I want the first 30 lines. If I do like that, it will print only the first 30 lines. But again, you can pack that as a result. You can pack it into a different file, and then you can compare the two. And then you can also go to the last part, also look for the last 30, and then you compare the two. And then in that order, you can just save it. If I want to save it like the command like this, I'll just say greater than, then I'll just put the name of the file, the output file, and then it will be saved over there. So that's how we are able to use the head and then tail. If you know how to use head, you can use tail. Now, the next most important function that is used commonly in command line for extracting information is grep. Grep, like the grep is used to search the lines of a file, and then it's trying to do some kind of matches. So you are looking for a word, and then you can grep using the word. Now the syntax is this. Let's get back to. So I'm not interested in this. So if I have grep, and then the next thing is to, what am I grepping? It's like I want a word. So let's say I want this word or this name, Edwin, in a particular text file, or in a particular file or a folder. So, and what file do I have? I have something like file 1. I have file 1. So if I should grep this, it means that it will print out any line that contains the name Edwin. So if I do like that, you see that it will print all any line at all that contains Edwin, and the Edwin is in red, as you can see. So if I wanted, I could just extract this portion that is meant for only Edwin out, and then leave the others. And so I could just, like, I could have done this, and then I'll just greater than, then I'll pack it and put it there, and then let's say, and just I'll call that file Eddie, and then when I run it, then that file is there. The next time I want, I can now print only Eddie, and then it will just print only that one for me. So that's how it works. Now the grep, there are several ways of using grep. Okay, for instance, when you come here, that's just the general syntax. But to be able to know the various ways of using grep, why don't you just say grep dash and then help like this? You see that. Let's scroll up and see. The usage is here. This is how the usage looks like. The options are there. The options are usually what you have here. The flags, which is down here. Okay, so you have the flags here. If it is, you add something like E. That's patterns are extended regular expressions. If you have F, patterns are strings. G, what is it? And just read them, what their meaning, and then what they do. And then you can apply them appropriately based on what you want to do. Okay. Now let's go look at the other ways of using grep, or how to be able to combine grep with other functions. For instance, you can actually use another one like a pipe operator, which is used to send the output of one command as an input to the other. So you grep and then you take it to another place. For instance, we just grep Edwin, but what about if we want to grep Edwin and also do a word count and see, okay, we have grep Edwin, but how many lines has Edwin been mentioned in? If I ask that question, how are you going to answer me? So we come here. So let me clear my screen, and then initially we said grep. Let me move up a bit. So we were grepping, what is it, Edwin, like this. But we were we come to think of something here. After I finish grepping and I add the file name, then I put this vertical bar there, then it will move and then use this particular command, which is WC word count -L means I want the number of lines. So I'm getting back to the command line. So I have this, and so I'm going to say add my vertical line, and then I have my word count, which is dash, and then add -L. So it tells me that it is going to go inside, look for all the lines that contain the word Edwin and count them. How many are they? There are 3, as you can see, and then we saw it earlier. So that's what you can use the pipe operator together with grep. So you can actually pick one command from one side and then send it to the other one, and that's what pipe operator is doing. Let's look at other ways of using the grep. So you can actually grep what with somebody's name. Let's say grep Nicholas. Then you add the file name. This one is going to print out lines whose first first word is Nicholas. Okay, like we have it around here, exactly the way the syntax is. Then you can also grep with this small. Okay, then let me just do it practically and then you see. So if I come here, let's say I have grep, then so I have 6, and then I'm going to have Edwin. What is it? Like this. And then I'm going to add a file, which is file 1, right? And then see, I actually didn't see anything. So let me come here. I don't know what I was supposed to put the inverted commas like this. Okay, and run it. It's the same. It's the same. But what that means is simply that you are looking for any file whose first word is Nicholas, and then that's it. You can also grep and search for A or B, just like the way it is here. Okay, I mean just like the way it is found here. So you can look at it. This particular text box, I've given quite a number of things that you can try on your own at home. So you can grep using this symbol and then like this, which means you search for either A or B, irrespective of case, whether it is uppercase or lowercase. When you do that, you are good to go. Maybe you have files or you have names within the file which could start with A, but you want anything that starts with A, whether small or capital A, whether small or capital B, you just put it there and then you can grep with it. And then the others too, you can see the definition over there. Now, the next most important function in terms of extracting information is cut. The cut function is used to cut out sections from each line of files and then print the results to a standard output. For instance, so let's check something here. Let me go to the studio. Now this cut as a function, so if you have cut here, let's do help and then look at what the cut function can do. So the usage, you have cut an option and add a file. So if you add that B, select only these bytes. See, select only these characters. What is that? The delimiter one. So the syntax is what I've given here. Over here, and then what we can do is we just have cut -G. That's the delimiter. Very important. Very, very important. We cannot leave that one out. So I'm clearing my watermark screen. So I have cut. If I say -G, the delimiter. What delimiter am I using? If it is space, then I'll just do this, then like this. That's my delimiter. Then I leave another space, that's F, and then I have 5, and then this particular dash. Find out what does the dash mean. The next line, there's no dash. Okay, so I'll run the two codes and you see the difference. Okay, then I have 5 dash here. Then I add my file name, which is file1. Right, if I run it, see what is going to happen. It goes into the file1, and then it doesn't print everything in file1. What did it print? It printed Microbiome, authored by Edwin Appiah. It did not print the first one. This is the first project. The first project is, it left that one out. What did it do? Now let me cut out file1 and then show the difference. So file1, look at this here. It cut out this first part. What did they use to be able to cut it out? It uses this delimiter. This delimiter is followed by this space. It means the space between words. And then this 5 means we are counting the first space here, the second space here, the third space here, and the fourth space here. And so from there, we are now saying that count that, and then when you count that, then take anything outside of that, but anything before that, print it out. That's why it counted the 4 spaces. Anything 4 spaces backward, then it will cut it out and then print out the rest. And that's why it now come to print Microbiome this. The next one, it will also cut that one out and also print it. That's how we use the delimiter. The delimiter is what separates the whole thing. Come here and look at this. Now I'm going to run the same file without the dash, and let's see the difference. Okay, so I'm coming here, and at this point I'm taking the dash out and then run it. Now what does it mean? It means before and after. Okay, before and after. So if you check, it tells you that 4 spaces, anything before the 4 spaces, keep it, and anything after the 4 spaces, take it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you keep anything after the 4 spaces. So it will keep Microbiome. After that, it will take away the rest of the thing. So it's going to cut only this, and that's what that means. Okay, so that's the difference between the dash and then without the dash. Okay, now let's look at this last part. Maybe you should try the other 2 lines. With this one, the delimiter is comma. Okay, and then let's say we have a file like this. If we're having a file like this, this one, you can see that it is separated by comma, 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 comma. So you use the delimiter, which is also comma, and that's basically how we are able to extract information. Okay, so that's it. God willing, tomorrow I will also try, and then we'll look at file permissions. But this is basically how we're able to extract information from files and then folders. I think they are not too much. I guess some few of them. We've looked at word count, sort, unique, join, difference, less, head, tail, grep, then the pipe operator, and of course cuts. So those are the things that we just tried to look at how to be able to use them. And I hope if you follow the video, pause it, try and see whether if you can repeat the same thing, and then you are good to go. Please don't forget the difference here. If you want to extract one word, here you don't add a dash. If you want to pick one side, the right hand side, without the left side, you add dash. And you should know, count the spaces. If there are 4 spaces, put 5. If there are 5 spaces, put 6. And so it means it's going to count 5 spaces, and anything before that, it will print it out. And then if you take the dash out, it will only print the word which is fallen 5 spaces back, in this case 4 spaces back, and then 4 spaces before, and that's it. Okay, all right, so I'll leave it here, and thanks for watching. I hope you understood everything. Bye bye.